That was Monday morning. Kartik was driving his black Mercedes towards his office. He saw a group of people gather around a small temple by roadside. Curiosity made him slow down. Kartik stepped out of his sleek black Mercedes, adjusting the cuffs of his tailor suit as he walked towards a small temple settled between towering buildings. He had never been one for prayers, but something, or rather someone, had drawn him here. As he approached, his eyes fell on a young woman dressed in a pink zari gown. She was lighting diyas, her face serene with devotion. Unlike the woman he was accustomed to, there was an innocence, purity about her that intrigued him. When she turned around, she noticed him staring. Their eyes met for a brief moment before she looked away. Slightly embarrassed, Karthik smirked. He was not used to being ignored. You come here every day? He asked casually. Madhura hesitated before answering. "Hmm, yes. I don't see the point of all this, he said, gesturing towards the temple. Praying, rituals. Does it really change anything? She looked at him, her brown eyes calm yet firm. Faith isn't about changing circumstances, it's about finding peace within. Peace. In this world, only power brings peace. Madhura shook her head. That's where you are mistaken, Mr. Kartik Deshmukh. Her eyebrows raised slightly. She had heard of him, a billionaire, a business magnate, the kind of man who lived in a different universe from hers. Well, Mr. Deshmukh, peace isn't in wealth or power, it's in knowing who you are. Something about her words stayed with him. At just 32, he was one of Mumbai's most successful business tycoons. Karthik had everything wealth, power, and a lifestyle that most could only dream of. He worked tirelessly throughout the week, signing million-dollar deals, expanding his empire, and ensuring that his company, Deshmukh Enterprises, remained at top. But weekends? Weekends were for indulgence. Expensive cars, luxury parties, and glamorous women. Everything was within his reach. Yet, despite the extravagant lifestyle, there was a hollow emptiness inside him, something he never admitted to himself. No matter how many deals he closed or how many glasses of expensive whiskey he drank, there was always a lingering sense of dissatisfaction. He often found himself staring at city skyline late at night, wondering why, despite having everything, he still felt as he had nothing. That entire day, Karthik found himself unable to think about anything but Madhura. Her serene face, her calm voice, and her unwavering faith kept replaying in his mind. That evening, as he sat in his penthouse overlooking the dazzling city skyline, an idea struck him. He would invite her to grand party he was hosting that weekend. It was the kind of event where celebrities, politicians, industrialists gathered, an affair no one would refuse. Next morning, instead of heading straight to his office, he stopped by the temple. He watched her from distance as she folded her hands in prayer, her lips murmuring chants. He had never believed in rituals, in devotion. His world was built on logic and power. But something about Mathura was different. When she turned around, she noticed him staring. Their eyes met for a brief moment before she looked away, slightly embarrassed. Karthik smirked. He was not used to being ignored. He walked up to her carrying an elegantly designed invitation. He approached Madhura as she finished her prayers and handed her card with a confident smile. You should come to my party this Friday. It will be grand, unlike anything you have ever seen. Madhura looked at the invitation and then at him, her expressions unchanged. I'm sorry, Karthik, but I can't. I observe a Friday fast and I have my Vrat Puja that evening. For the first time in his life, Karthik felt rejection. Women usually compete for his attention, eager to accompany him to such extravagant events. He blinked, surprised. He couldn't believe it. This was the biggest party of the season, an event people would do anything to attend. And yet, she had turned it down without a second thought. Kartik watched her walk away, completely baffled. How could someone turn down such an exclusive event so effortlessly? He had never encountered anyone like her before, and that only made him more intrigued. Kartik became curious about Madhura. She was nothing like the people in his world. He decided to find out more about her. He realized that if he truly wanted to understand her, he had to step into her world, and that meant visiting the temple regularly. Over the next few weeks, he found himself drawn back to the temple, arriving early just to catch a glimpse of her serene face as she prayed. At first, he approached her with a casual conversations, teasing her about her unwavering faith, challenging her beliefs, and questioning the rituals she followed. But as time passed, he began to listen, really listen to her words. Her conviction, her kindness, and her unwavering belief in goodness fascinates him in a way he couldn't explain. Madhura too began to see a side of him that wasn't portrayed in magazines. A man who was lonely despite being surrounded by luxuries. He observed how she treated everyone with the same warmth, from priest to beggar sitting outside. She had an aura of peace around her, something he had never found in fast-paced world of business and power. For the first time in his life, he wasn't just chasing wealth or success. He was chasing something far more precious, understanding. One day, Karthik took Madhura to a business meeting with him. He was in the process of acquiring a tech company. But as the discussion unfolded, Madhura keenly observed the hesitation in the owner's voice. She realized that the owner wasn't selling the company out of a choice, but out of necessity. His company was struggling financially and he wanted to secure a better future for his employees. Later, Madhura gently made Karthik see the depth of the situation. This company isn't just a business for him, Karthik. It's his life's work, something he built with years of dedication. Instead of acquiring it outright, why not structure a deal that benefit both sides? Maybe a partnership or investment that allows them to sustain while also being profitable for you. Karthik pondered her words and for the first time looked beyond mere numbers. Inspired by Madhura's perspective, he proposed a strategic collaboration instead of complete acquisition. The owner was relieved, and Madhura couldn't help but be impressed by Karthik's willingness to adapt and find a balanced solution. One evening, Karthik showed up at her workplace. She was engrossed in her work, solving technical problems with her team when he walked in, dressed in an expensive suit, looking completely out of place. "What are you doing here?" she asked. She quickly put away her files, not expecting to see him at her office. "I wanted to see the kind of work you do. I realized I hardly know anything about this part of your life." She smiled and explained a complex technical issue her team was facing. "We have been stuck on this problem for days. Maybe you can give us a fresh perspective." Karthik studied the issue intently. Although he didn't have a background in coding, he applied his strategic thinking and analytical skills. He suggested a different approach. Madhura and her team were intrigued and tested his idea. While it didn't fully solve the issue, it brought them closer to the solution than before. Madhura looked at him, impressed. "You may not be a software engineer, but you have an incredible way of thinking. That was really impressive." Karthik smiled. "Maybe problem solving isn't so different after all, whether in business or engineering." Madhura laughed, realizing he was unlike anyone she had ever met. After successfully helping her team with the technical issue, Karthik invited Madhura to dinner. They went to a quiet, elegant restaurant away from the usual chaos of the city. Over delicious Maharashtrian cuisine, they shared stories, laughter, and thoughts about life. That night deepened their bond in a way neither had expected. Later, as they walked outside, he turned to her and said, "Madhura, you had changed me. I don't know when, but I have started caring about things beyond my business, beyond money. Ever since I embraced spirituality, I have felt a sense of calm I never knew I needed. It's like I have stopped running a race with no finish line. Now I wake up feeling fulfilled, not because of the deals I have closed, but because I understand myself better. There is a peace in knowing that happiness isn't just in numbers, it's in moments, in connections, in something deeper than wealth. She looked at him, her heart beating faster. She had seen his transformation. He had become kinder, more thoughtful, more human. Their love grew in unexpected ways. Kartik, who once spent weekends in elite clubs, now found himself enjoying quiet evenings discussing technology and innovations with Madhura, exploring new ideas beyond the business world. He started investing in ethical projects, prioritizing employee welfare, and redirecting his company's resources towards social causes. He no longer cared about superficial relationships. He wanted something real, something lasting. He wanted Madhura. One day, he took her to a beautiful decorated temple, away from the city's chaos. As she stepped inside, she found it adorned with flowers and candles. Kartik, what is all this? She asked, surprised. He took her hands in his. Madhura, you taught me the meaning of love, of faith, of true happiness. I never believed in destiny, but I believe in us. Will you marry me? Tears welled in her eyes as she nodded. Yes, Kartik, I will. Kartik and Madhura got married in a simple yet joyful ceremony surrounded by their loved ones. They built a life filled with love and happiness.